Hello, my name is Monique. This is Alexis. We are with FVREB Realty in Abbotsford.
And we're here in January 2024 to talk about what happened last year in December of 2023.
2023, last year.
Yes. It's a new year, guys, and let's come talk about stats.
Absolutely. So I'm going to talk about detached homes because that's what most people want to talk about.
That's right.
So detached homes in Abbotsford, sales have decreased by 25.5% versus what they were last month. I just want to remind you that November is typically busier than December.
Yes.
December always puts the brakes on as we have all of our wintertime activities.
Holidays.
People don't want to leave their house for showings.
They don't want to take pictures with Christmas decor up.
Yeah. So we do normally see a
common.
drop from November to December
Yes.
as we get right into the pit of the winter market. Prices have decreased accordingly by 2.6%. The active listings have decreased by 32%, and new listings are down just over 61%.
Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of decreased activity overall.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
But if we want to compare it from what it was happening December of 2022, so also another December, we know that sales have increased by 5.6%, and the average price has actually gone up by 13.9%.
Okay, making it $1,100,404 is the average price.
So December 2022, we were talking about the average detached home price was just under $1 million, and now we're at 1.1.
Yeah.
So just 1 year's growth. Active listings have increased by 22%, and new listings have also increased by 18.8%. So we're not used to seeing an increase.
Yeah.
But again, comparing to last year, pardon me.
Yes.
Yeah,
and it's interesting because Abbotsford kind of always goes against what the Fraser Valley is doing, because right now Fraser Valley is dealing with a 10-year low in sales,
record low,
and new listings right now. There's so much decreased activity, even though it's not a super buyer's market or a super seller's market. It's mostly a balance. There's just so much decreased activity overall. But here in Abbotsford, you're not seeing that so much.
We're not matching the trend.
That's right. Townhouses. So sales have gone down 31%. Price has gone down 4.9%.
Okay.
Active listings down 20.9%, and new listings down 30.8%. That's month to month. So that's from December to November. Now, year over year, so comparing from December 2022, its sales are down 18.5%, but price is up 5%, making it
$632,263.
All right. Now, active listings went down again 32.1%, and new listings went up 35%, which I think is very encouraging to see. We've always said there's not enough townhouses in Abbotsford and the surrounding area, so I think that's great news.
Well, and townhouses really had a year because they took away all the restrictions. No rental restrictions and no age restrictions unless you are 55 plus.
Yeah, so that's opened up so much.
All of these 19 plus, 25, 35 plus townhouse complexes needed to make a decision if they wanted to be a 55 plus and really lower their price, their resale price.
That's right, and their market pool. There's not as many buyers to purchase that home.
Yeah, or if they wanted to open up and become a family-friendly complex. And so that was really weighing on a lot of townhouses, and it also opened up a lot. So families were able to move into townhouses instead of the condos.
Yeah, and I think that's been a very encouraging move because that was sorely missed.
We had a very big deficiency in townhouses for young families.
Yeah.
So
apartments,
condos. Sales versus last month have decreased by just over 19%. The average price has decreased by 9%. Active listings down by over 16%, and new listings have also decreased by over 38%. So
again, just decreased activity across the board
in December for condos, apartments.
Yes.
But again, versus what they were doing last year, they've actually increased their sales by 18.8%.
Okay.
So it might just be because a detached house is now 1.1 million.
Yeah.
And townhouses are 632,000. So.
Yeah, some people might be deciding to buy a condo instead of a townhouse. It's kind of
because the new average price is
$418,699.
Yeah.
Which is it's a little bit more affordable
Yep.
than a detached home. So
Absolutely.
people are considering other alternatives.
Active listings have decreased by 18.8%, whereas new listings have increased by just 2%. So, yeah, active listings are down. That means that there's just less. There's less on the market.
Yeah.
With new listings coming on, they're hoping to kind of balance that out a little bit.
Yeah. And it has been overall going into the sales to active listing ratio. We've seen that Abbotsford has kind of stayed in a little bit of a semi-seller's market, semi-balanced market.
Yeah.
So we've kind of been towing the line a little bit. Yeah. So,
but this is not surprising
No.
information, especially because Bank of Canada has not made any changes to their rates.
It's been very consistent, which has kind of given a lot of people some security, some confidence
Absolutely.
In purchasing, because they're not thinking there's going to be a big change, and then they'll regret, locking in an interest rate at that time.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But some experts are talking about how they are potentially going to be decreasing the interest rate in the springtime. So
Yes.
again, it's not confirmed. This is just experts who have been looking at.
Yeah, we're because inflation rate is now 3.1%. Bank of Canada have always said their range is between 1% and 3%. So if January and February continues the trend of lower inflation, then Bank of Canada will probably make some cautious reductions probably in the spring in Q2 of this year, and we're hoping that is the case, because I think that is what everybody has been kind of hoping for.
Absolutely. So when people talk about how they're going to hold out, they're waiting for the market to crash, prices to drop, so that way it's affordable. That's realistically not going to happen. We're sitting so high. We'll talk about our sales to active listing ratio in a moment. But we are sitting higher than the Fraser Valley as a whole in Abbotsford.
Yeah.
And so the likelihood that we're going to crash is not high.
Yeah, this is kind of like the
moment.
low moment right now, before we get into the spring market, before banks compete with each other and lower interest rates to get your business. Before activity picks up and everybody wants to sell with a beautiful front yard. This is kind of the go moment if you're thinking about buying for a while. Maybe you don't have as much down payment as you'd like. This is probably the lowest prices will be for this year.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking maybe, you want to take advantage of a lower price, lower down payment, now's the time. Maybe lock in just a year mortgage term, and then maybe refinance at a lower interest rate when they do go down.
And I just want to point out that if you do start the process of getting yourself approved for a mortgage, the rate that they lock you into right now, if it decreases by the time you have an accepted offer and are ready to go forward, most banks and lenders will give you the new lowered rate, whereas you're locking in the current rate. So it really is a great idea if this is something you're thinking about in the future to start getting the ball rolling and beat the rush, because once that rate drops, if the rates do drop, there's going to be a lot of people that are suddenly motivated to get on, and then you're going to have a lot of people to compete with. If you're already pre-approved, you have a much better chance of writing a solid offer that's going to get looked at. So we're going to talk about sales to active listing ratio for the Fraser Valley.
Right now, so November it was 15.1%, which is a balanced market. In December it went up to 20.3%. So
just toe over the line.
Yeah, so technically sellers, but
only by 0.3%.
Abbotsford in comparison.
Yeah, Abbotsford last month, November, was 19.1%. And in December, this last month here, is 21.2%. So we are just sitting in a seller's market.
Yeah. Which is not surprising that there's a little bit more desirability for Abbotsford compared to the Fraser Valley. We've been seeing it for a long time now.
Abbotsford knew that was going to happen. We've got a lot going on in our community, a lot to bring people to this area. Besides its central location, we've got the airport, we've got the hospital, just so much going on. Plus we have a rapid growth plan, so that means that there is if you think that you're seeing a lot of rezoning signs coming up around the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You're not crazy. There's a lot of growth happening.
Yes. Yeah. We're definitely, it's all about density right now.
Yeah. So, but anyways, we'll talk about that in another video. Thank you so much for checking out our video. I know that we've been going on a little bit. We missed you last month. We both were sick. You didn't want to hear my scratchy, lost voice.
Very ill.
And if you would like to share this with somebody, that definitely helps us get our names out there. Like, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. Show us some love. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to giving you some more information next month. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.